As we gather here today to celebrate this momentous occasion, we are so incredibly grateful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the honor and privilege of consecrating our new Mikdash Ma'at, this shul, and the Esther Ann Brown Adler Center for the Jewish Life. We have finally arrived at this auspicious time due to the dedicated guidance and support of our master builder, Howard Brown, and the overwhelming generosity of Dr. Frona Brown, for whom this project was particularly meaningful, because the shul is being dedicated in loving memory of their daughter, Esther Ann Brown Adler, Aleha Shalom. Esther Ann was known for her beautiful smile and engaging personality. Despite fighting a serious illness for many years, she was an incredible mother to her 4 children, and she always tried to help others. It's only fitting that our shul, a focal point of unity, love, and holiness for so many of our families, is named after a woman who was so devoted to her own family. It is our fervent hope that as the walls of this new building resonate with the sounds of tefillah and Torah learning, Esther Ann's legacy will live on. May her neshama continue to have an aliyah as we embark on the holy and inspired next chapter of our kehillah in our new home. But first, let's take a moment to look back and appreciate where it all started, to pay homage to the events and extraordinary leaders who paved the path to bring us to this very special moment today.
In early 1957, Suburban's first Rav, Rabbi Chaim Gewantman, alav Shalom, a Ner Yisrael alumnus, went knocking on doors in the quiet neighborhood to encourage people to join him in a new synagogue located in a basement on Slade Avenue, directly across from the present-day shul. However, within several months, the basement could no longer accommodate the attendees for Shabbos services. The members collected enough money for a down payment on a mortgage and bought a small white cottage a few doors away on 7 Mile Lane and Slade Avenue, the same location where we now daven. Volunteers gutted the house to make it more open for services, and on September 15, 1957, they moved in. 5 years later, in 1962, the shul completed an expansion and built an addition in front of the cottage, which is what you see today. By the early to mid-1960s, more observant families moved into the neighborhood. In those days, most shuls had weekday or Sunday schools for kids who attended public school. Suburban's weekday and Sunday school classes were well attended, and many of those kids came to shul on Shabbos too. A large cohort of those children who grew up in the shul ended up raising their own families in the shul, resulting in a cohesive, multi-generational family feeling in our shul. Rabbi Gewantman, with the help of his Rebbitzin, Charlotte Gewantman, served as rabbi of Suburban for 18 years from 1957 to 1976, and then as rabbi emeritus until 1982, when he passed away just days before the shul's 25th banquet. During this time, the shul was known as Suburban Orthodox Synagogue. In 1984, 2 years after Rabbi Gewantman's passing, my father, Morton Esterson, one of the founding board members, suggested to the board that Toras Chaim be added to the shul's name in tribute to Rabbi Chaim Gewantman. And that is how Suburban Orthodox Congregation became known as Suburban Orthodox Toras Chaim Congregation.
Following the passing of Rabbi Gewantman, Zichrono Livracha, Rabbi Irvin Price was recruited through Yeshiva University's Rabbi Placement Service. Rabbi Price shepherded the shul through an era of marked transformation, resulting in an influx of many new young members and a more observant kehillah. Rabbi Price brought with him a focus on teaching by beginning several weeknight classes. Sunday breakfasts were offered, as well as a Shabbos day kiddush. Under the unwavering dedication of the Rav and his Rebbitzin Anita and their 3 children, Suburban marked the 1980s and 90s with Torah classes, with social events, lectures, and community gatherings, establishing its presence in the Baltimore Jewish Orthodox landscape. Interior changes to the shul began to emerge as well, as the kehillah experienced both physical and spiritual growth. Rabbi Price displayed a sophisticated understanding of Torah, delivering learned sermons and classes in his mild British accent. He was acknowledged by his peers in the community as a scholar, as a leader in Orthodoxy. For 12 years, Rabbi Price served as leader of the Baltimore Vad HaRabbanim. He was among the first Orthodox rabbis to take a general Jewish community leadership position in his role with Jewish Family Services. Sadly, after 26 years of leadership, in December of 2002, Rabbi Price passed away at the age of 67. During most of his 3-year illness, Rabbi Price amazingly continued to lovingly serve and lead the Kehillah. 1 week before his passing, Rabbi Price was brought to shul in a wheelchair for Shabbos Mincha and gave a Devar Torah at Shalosh Shudas. His tenacious dedication to davening, his quiet way, his humility were trademarks of his leadership of our shul and of the community at large. After Rabbi Price's untimely passing, the shul was intent on finding a new, dynamic, and personable rabbi to lead Suburban into the next century. The shul lay leadership, led by Mitch Posner, Barry Nabozny, and my husband Neil Weissman, appointed a rabbi search committee and formed focus groups to better ascertain what the membership was looking for in a new rabbi. Multiple resumes were received and reviewed, including one for a young Rav named Shmuel Silber. The rest is history.
In 2003, the dedicated search team excitedly voted on Rabbi Shmuel Silber to assume the position of Suburban's third Rav. Rabbi Silber, with his dedicated Rebbetzin and Aviva and their 6 young children, moved to Baltimore, a city the Rav warmly recalls as a place he only knew of as a mere rest stop for those traveling between New York and Washington, D.C. The Kehillah exuberantly welcomed the young Silber family, and Rabbi Silber's magnetic presence immediately infused Torah and uplifting spiritual experiences into the daily lives of shul members. In March of 2008, Suburban celebrated its 50th anniversary, honoring Rabbi and Rebbetzin Silber. By this time, it was clear Rabbi Silber had a vision for the shul, and with his inspiring leadership, he brought the Kehillah along with him. A Talmud Chacham, gifted educator, colorful orator, and a warm and caring person, he successfully inculcated achdus, spirituality, and a sense of community into the daily fabric of the shul. Suburban became known as the shul that hosts one of the largest Daf Yomi Shiurim in the U.S., with Rabbi Silber's focus on family-oriented programming and well-attended online and in-person classes. Our shul is known locally and internationally. By 2015, a surge in membership and expansion in learning and programming spurred the launch of a capital campaign to create a new and larger home for the Kehillah. Over the next few years, the Kehillah continued to outgrow its physical space, and the building committee began to actively engage in the purchase of adjacent properties. During the pandemic, the Kehillah was exceptional in finding ways to stay connected while physically apart. It was during this time that it was decided to make changes to allow for more davening space. All the theater-style seats were removed, and tables and chairs were installed. The structure took on a vibe of yeshiva, which coincides with Rabbi Silber's mantra of Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. Building plans were drawn and then redrawn, and on February 2nd, 2022, hundreds of community members, rabbis, and dignitaries attended the ceremonial groundbreaking that was held in a large tent to accommodate the sizable crowd. Under Rabbi Silber's leadership, the shul's membership continues to grow exponentially. With a membership of nearly 500 families, Suburban now serves as an epicenter for Jewish life, Torah study, and provides a holy space for self-actualization, growth bein Adam lamakom, bein Adam lachavero, and bein Adam la'atzmo. Although the Kehillah has undergone immense growth and change over 6 decades, one underlying theme remains the same. We are a welcoming, growth-oriented Kehillah, anchored in Torah, Avodah, and Chesed. Suburban continues to stand as a spiritual home for countless individuals and families, heightening the spiritual experience and strengthening its members as one united Kehillah.
We are here with Mrs. Selma Wolf, one of the pillars, maybe the pillar of our Kehillah. Baruch Hashem, someone who has been with our Kehillah, leading our Kehillah for so many generations. I just took Selma on a tour of the building. Selma, what are your thoughts?
I am so impressed. From the outside, it looks large, but you have no idea about the massive spaces inside that are going to be used for all kinds of purposes. The education wing, the social hall, the Beis Midrash, it's going to be absolutely beautiful, and everyone will want to come to this shul for for their simchas.
Amen, amen, amen.
Today represents the culmination of generations of work. The first Rav of our Kehillah, Rabbi Gewantman, was an individual who was Moser Nefesh to put down the foundation that we are building upon. Rabbi Irvin Price, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, literally led this Kehillah till his last breath. And we, all of us here today, are privileged to continue to build on the holy foundation that was poured by the generations before us. There are so many people who are not here today to celebrate in this dramatic communal milestone, but yet without them, we would never be here. It is always important for us to recognize that we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, and not just in our Kehillah. We stand on the shoulders of generations who are Moser Nefesh, so that we could have a beautiful, vibrant Kehillah with Torah, with Tefillah, with Avodah, with Achdos, that we could have a place that is welcoming, loving, and accepting to all kinds of Jews. Dear friends, we are not simply building a building, but we are building a chelik of Am Yisrael. And as long as we continue to build it together, and as long as we continue to build it with unwavering fidelity, allegiance, and commitment to the Ribono Shel Olam, to his mitzvos, to his Torah, there is no doubt that we will be successful. But this is not the end of our journey. As the Gemara Meseches Megillah says, Asidin Bate Knesio Shebegola, and Mashiach comes, all of the shuls, all of the houses of worship of the diaspora will be lifted up and replanted in Eretz Yisrael. Today is not the conclusion to the journey. Today is the conclusion of one chapter. And in Eretz Hashem, within this sacred place, within these sacred walls, we will write many more chapters. And as long as those chapters are filled with true avodah, true achdos, true avas chinam, simple love and respect one for the other, then we will be zocha to write that last chapter together. That chapter of Mashiach, that chapter which allows us to be transported together with our mikdash ma'at, with our families, and with our kehillah to a rebuilt Yerushalayim b'mehera b'yameinu. Amen.